I think football is a good medium for teaching young children values that they can use in life.
It's the best medium. There's nothing, everything about all the other sports, baseball, hockey, basketball, and that European sport, soccer. Those sports can help a kid grow, but there's nothing like football to bring about teamwork, hard work, honesty, and the ability to get along with others. It's the best sport in the world as a teaching tool. What you learn in football, those you know those items stay with you for the rest of your life.
That's my dad, Brian Caulfield. Aside from being my father and my best friend, he's one of the best football coaches I've ever seen. In his 12 years of coaching in my hometown of Franklin, Massachusetts, his teams have been known for their success both on and off the field. Some say that he's had great groups of kids year after year, and let's face it, I was one of them, so it can't be that far off base. But if you ask any one of his former players, they will tell you that his wisdom and coaching led them to victory. From the time I was born, my father instilled in me his love of the game. Whether it was the football he placed in my crib or teaching me how to throw, his guidance moved me towards embracing the game I love. I can still remember watching then quarterback Drew Bledsoe throwing a pick in the end zone against the Jets, and both of us absolutely losing it. The 15-second tirade was both excessive and profanity filled, and I can still remember my mother coming in and yelling at us. I don't know why this memory sticks out in my head, but I look back on it to this day and laugh. As I entered second grade, I became old enough and weighed enough to play Pop Warner football for the Franklin Chargers. I can still remember my first practice. It was the beginning of August and we were in full pads for the first time. We did tackling drills for 45 minutes. Needless to say, I was miserable. After the practice, I approached my father and asked him if he minded if I quit. To which he replied, "Hell yeah, I mind if you quit. You made a commitment, goddammit, and you'll see it through. If you don't like it, then you don't have to play next year." To this day, I can't decide whether he was teaching me a lesson on sticking to my commitment or if he didn't want the $150 he spent it on pads going to waste. Either way, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Becoming immersed in football taught me so many valuable things. Gave me a great group of friends. It was the only place that I could get praise for pushing people on the ground. So it was all right in my book. After 2 or 3 years of playing, no parents wanted to step up and coach the team, partly because it was a huge time commitment, and partly because we really sucked. Like, hadn't won a game in 2 years sucked. But when they needed an assistant coach to help run the offense, my father stepped forward, and my first thought was, oh shit. Though he always took it a little harder on me, it was easy to see that the man was a natural teacher. Funny, smart, somewhat intimidating when he needed to be, he had all the right criteria for a good coach. Along with the rest of the coaches, my father taught us the meaning of hard work, and we worked hard. Through several months of strenuous practice, I learned that nothing comes easy, and that you have to work for everything you get. Our hard work paid off, and in that season, we won the Super Bowl for our age group, and was one game away from this famous trip to Disney to play in the Nationals. Over the next 2 years, we returned to the Super Bowl both times, and lost a total of 3 regular games. The bond that me and my father forged over those 4 years shaped the way that we interact to this day. After spending 4 years' time practicing, conditioning, and playing with someone, you form a bond. During a football game, every emotion possible comes out, and you get to see who someone really is. I think that it is really special that me and my father got to share this experience, and it definitely brought us closer. As I entered high school, I joined the freshman team and began practicing. I was promptly called on to the scout team for a varsity practice, and had the ever-loving shit knocked out of me by a senior linebacker. One broken wrist, 2 surgeries, and a whole lot of painkillers later, I found myself on the injured bench. Watching as my friends ran around and had fun, I, I once again approached my father and talked to him about the possibility of quitting. And he said, "If you do it, you're going to regret it." For some reason, that resonated with me, and I stayed on the team. I played throughout high school and lettered my senior year. And my father was right, too, because if I did quit, I would have regretted it. My senior year, we won our division for the first time in 30 years and went undefeated in the regular season. It was one of the proudest moments of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. After my senior season, I did some remembering on my football career and found that my father had never missed one of my games. Juggling work, a family, and his coaching another team at the time, all of those things, he still managed to make it to every single one of my games. Something that I think is incredible. I think my dad did a whole lot more than coach us kids. I think that he mentored us into becoming men. Though he may have been coaching us football, he taught us a whole lot more. The 4 years that me and him spent together on the sidelines to produce some of the most fondest and happiest memories of my life, and I'm forever grateful. Alright, enough of this sappy shit and back to the story. Nowadays, me and my dad are more alike than ever. Watching the same game hundreds of miles apart, I can still hear exactly what he's saying on Saturdays and Sundays. We are almost in constant communication on game days, text each other like teenage girls discussing play calls and whatnot. The season's been a little rough for us Notre Dame fans, who are not playing that hot, but I still look forward to the games because it makes me feel closer to my dad. I know that's lame, but what the hell do I care what you think? Football has brought me closer to the man that means everything to me, and that is why I love the game.
What is the most important lesson playing football has taught you?
I don't know if I can put it on one, like put that into one lesson. It's taught me so much I can't even begin to think about just one. Um, Taught me how to be social. Taught me how to work hard. Taught me basically everything I know. It made me who I am today, and I'm thankful for it.